Today's economic climate has put a damper on the dollar and a limit on luxury spending. Many cost-conscious consumers are staying home. Cocooning has become a buzzword for the 90s.
Going out is getting more and more expensive. Our population is aging, so that big baby boom part of our population have moved on to another stage of life. Many of them are getting married, having children, and raising families.
If you're a cocooner, you might do what 75% of Americans do: garden. Gardening, one of our oldest pastimes, is increasing in popularity among younger people.
Many times that we have clients that ask us to create areas in their yard for their children. It seems like I've noticed that the trend's moving more toward that. Something I hear every day is, from everyone, is low maintenance. Because people want to, do fun things in the weekend, not be a slave to their gardens.
But gardening is not what it used to be. With limited space available today, cocooners must use their spaces efficiently. For garden lovers like Richard Dawson, the simple joy of growing something natural is not only relaxing, but it's a pastime that can produce some stunning results. And a little effort can go a long way.
We're seeing many different types of gardens today. With the advent of townhomes, the garden would be a single patio tomato. It would classify as a garden. You can come in and buy that for $1 and another $1 for a pot and a little bit of potting soil. Put that out on your balcony, put it out on your front stoop, and grow your own tomato plant. Pick your tomatoes in the fall and make a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich if that's what you like. In the 90s, with the increased environmental awareness, people are looking for activities that are environmentally friendly.
With our current economic outlook, combined with a trend toward traditional lifestyles, many believe that cocooners are likely to keep growing at home. This is Tony Peters reporting.
There are a lot of different kinds of reasons why people might be cocooning today. In the first place, there's the fact that going out is getting more and more expensive. Not just expensive because the prices of things are going up, but also because it's more inconvenient to get around. Traffic is more clogged, parking is more inconvenient. That's a significant one. The other thing is that going out requires time, and time is something that people these days find in very short supply. They've overcommitted themselves in order to maintain their family income picture, and that means working harder at more jobs more often than before. It's hard to plan ahead. It's hard to make appointments and keep them. All that coordination, all of that travel time, all of that process stuff is a terrible burden on modern people. If they want to do things that are elective, that are discretionary, do them for their own sake, they're going to have to tuck them in around the edges of a very busy schedule. And that means that they can't be putting themselves really at the mercy of an existing schedule, or even of having to make appointments with other people. Cocooning, which is a new phenomenon, has one of the oldest explanations. People have important domestic business that keeps them at home these days.
I look forward to Saturday. To work in the garden, and I have a helper, and I get to do the fun thing. But together, it really, it's therapy. You work out in your garden, you don't worry about all the pressing problems that you may have week to week. So it's fun, and after it's done and finished, and it looks good, and you've cleaned all up, you get the feeling of, you've accomplished something. So.
What are water gardens?
Well, water features in gardens, I guess, is what that would really be. And of course, anywhere where the temperature gets warm in the summer, it's wonderful to have that water feature there, because even when it's 90 degrees outside, the sound of the water gives you the impression that it's really cooler than it is. Many times the water will block out noises that are unwanted, and we've done jobs where houses were in areas where the traffic was really loud, and we put fountains in there to block out all that urban noise that's outside the wall. And of course, many times we put fountains with swimming pools, so the pool is not just a swimming pool, but can at nighttime or whatever be used as a fountain feature, so it's kind of a combination of both.
What are color gardens? I hear that term being used too.
Well, color gardens would be perennials and things that you put in the springtime, and of course it would live year round. There's always some kind of color you can put in. Many times we do that in pots and things, so if there are times of the year where you don't have as much time to work in your garden, or if it's bad weather, you can put that pot away. You don't have a big blank space in your landscape, but color works real well in pots, and people really like that. And you notice all around the country people, moving toward pots and things like that, the Italian look. Mm-hmm.
More and more people are getting involved in gardening, and I would say that at least in our market, they're primarily homeowners, people that have a house, have some land, some space to garden, but even the people who live in apartments or townhomes are doing a lot of gardening in pots with the newer plants that are for that. They have good success. There's an educational lesson there for the young people to learn a little patience too, that you don't do something today and that you get the results 2 minutes later. It's something that you have to work on a little today, work on a little tomorrow, and then after a little period of time you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And the need for color in pots or smaller gardens is greater than it's ever been before. So we've seen a lot of new hybrid plants come out that are smaller, dwarf in nature, and are a lot more, I guess if you can coin the phrase, colorific. They produce a lot of color on a very small plant. For the more experienced gardeners, the ones that have been gardening for years, the growing trend towards water gardens, which is a new exciting development.
But in front of the couch.
Oh, right. Exactly. That would look absolutely beautiful. Yeah, this is wonderful.